And we are streaming. Geekers unite! Stop what you're doing, unpause your lives, and just have a listen. If you aren't currently hyperventilating into a paper bag, you aren't paying attention. It's Friday, August 14th, and we got a thermonuclear payload of pure pop culture insanity right into our news desks. And my brain is running at 10,000 RPM on 3 hours of sleep, cheap caffeine, and existential dread. Or, it's just another Friday in the geek industry. Welcome back to United States of Geek, the only show bold enough to tell you that half the stuff you're hyperventilating over is just corporate feature bloat dressed up in a shiny 4K wrapper. We have a full show for you tonight where we're going to be talking about the goth monopoly taking over our lives. Yes, that's right, the company behind Spirit Halloween has officially bought Hot Topic, Box Lunch, and Her Universe. Your local mall now belongs to a seasonal ghost. Spider-Man absolutely destroyed the box office, too. It is on its way this weekend to crossing $2 billion globally. In today's Critics Quest, we are going to be talking about Eli Roth's $1 million unrated horror fever dream, Ice Cream Man, as it slathers itself across theater screens. In the Geeking, we got a bunch of news for you, coming by yours truly, flying completely solo, and citing every source on the fly. And we're also going to be talking about the Netflix elephant in the room that was dropped on our laps just this past week, and we are also beginning the countdown to Jeff Keighley's Gamescom opening night live this August 25th. So put down the controller, lock the doors, and brace yourselves. United States of Geek starts right now. Alright, let's start today by looking at the terrifyingly unhinged consolidation of pop culture retail. Spencer Spirit Holdings, the corporate overlords who run Spirit Halloween, has officially completed their acquisition of Hot Topic, Box Lunch, and Her Universe. Do you know what this means? The entire alt-fashion graphic tee, anime, merch, and gothic retail infrastructure of North America is now controlled by the exact same company that rents out abandoned Sears buildings every September. Prepare for your local suburban mall to permanently smell like incense, fishnets, fake fog, and pumpkin spice forever. It's not a retail merger, it's an empire. And if that's not enough cash moving around this Friday, Spider-Man Brand New Day has just crossed $1.82 billion worldwide in under 2 weeks. Sony and Marvel are printing money so fast that the presses are catching fire. Well, with that said, let's take a look at Critics Quest. See, Eli Roth is now on our radar for the 2nd August. Not in a row, just the 2nd August. He grabbed Ari Millen and put him in a dingy white ice cream truck and decided to make a low-budget DIY B-horror spectacle that is truly unhinged. For those who don't know, Eli Roth has been described as a lot of things, but wavering is definitely one of those things. I mean, don't get me wrong, we enjoyed Thanksgiving personally, but his last outing, Borderlands, left a lot to be desired. We gave that a double middle finger and a Gollum Award back in our first year of doing this, so we were actually optimistic for this one. Sadly, that is not the case with how it turned out. Set in Baleen Bay, right at the start of summer, Jared Mayfair becomes awfully suspicious of some frozen treats delivered from a man, played by Ari Millen, and must find a way to stop him before it's too late. While this might seem great on paper, what ends up transpiring is a mix between weapons, invasion of the body snatchers, a sprinkle of Children of the Corn, and some Gremlins Trezzle. And a shit ton of blood. For a half hour straight. It is just gore after gore after gore after gore. The script isn't well fleshed out, and the story is as predictable as a chocolate sundae. The one thing that I always have a problem with when it comes to movies with an hour and a half runtime, and a really interesting premise, is it really needs a few more extra minutes to flesh out and bake in the oven. As for the AI stuff that a lot of people are talking about, I didn't notice it as much as I thought. Maybe that speaks more about me than anything, but either way, is there any good out of it? It is either unintentionally funny or unintentionally funny, but either way, it's not bad, just not the right type of ice cream I ordered. Look, if you came here expecting a gourmet gelato of horror, you're going to be severely disappointed. It's more like finding a freezer burned tub of vanilla at the back of the fridge at 2 a.m. You'll eat it if you're desperate enough, but you're definitely going to regret your life choices halfway through. The dialogue is softer than soft serve on a 90s summer afternoon. The pacing completely freezes up the second the gore stops flowing, and the character development is so half-baked it makes early 2000s CW dramas look like Shakespeare in comparison. If you're only here to watch gallons of fake blood churned across the screen for 30 straight minutes, knock yourself out. Just don't expect the script to give you anything worth savoring once the massacre cools down. I gotta split before I make any more ice cream puns. A middle finger. Alright, you know what? No matter what month it actually says on the calendar, in my heart, it's gonna be May. It is Friday, August 14th, 2026, and the newswire is hitting full throttle into the weekend. I got about 30 stories for you, no breaks, and I'm gonna try my best to cite every source on the fly. So, here we go. According to 2K Games and Press Wires today, August 14th, Mafia the Old Country, Man of Honor, has officially launched across consoles and PC. But if you prefer medieval survival farming on Xbox right now, Xbox Wire also confirmed that the farming RPG Grave Seasons officially joined the Xbox Series X and S lineup today. While tactical combat fans can get ready for some heavy aviation action, Publisher Wire's confirmed flight combat game Wild Blue Skies has also launched on PlayStation 5 and PC. And going over to Nintendo Switch 2 news, Nintendo and Mojang officially have confirmed that Minecraft will be arriving on Switch 2 this October, while streaming fantasy fans get delay warnings. Netflix confirmed in a production update that the final season of The Witcher has slid to 2027. Also, IGN and the PlayStation blog post confirmed Sony's August slate is led by Day One fighter Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls on PlayStation 5. While over on the Xbox Game Pass side, Beast of Reincarnation is now playable on Game Pass. Xbox's announcement wire has also confirmed Retro Legends, Heretic, and Hex and Shadow dropped on Game Pass Ultimate. Konami has also confirmed that Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 lands August 27th on PlayStation 5 and Switch 2. Bethesda has also locked The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, which has landed on next-gen hardware. Panic and House have confirmed that co-op title Big Walk hits PS Plus Extra as a Day One freebie. While Niao's Games has announced that Liza P Complete Edition gets a physical disc rollout across Switch 2 and PlayStation 5 later this month. Cold Symmetry has dropped fresh gameplay footage on their dev stream for Mortal Shell 2. Team 17 has unveiled that Hell Let Loose Vietnam brought 100-player tactical warfare to dense jungle terrain yesterday. Lucas Games and EA detailed Star Wars Zero Company heading to consoles and PC. Frogwares has showcased new gameplay for The Sinking City 2, featuring revamped Lovecraftian survival mechanics. Cold Iron Studios announced Aliens Fireteam Elite 2 is in development with deadlier xenomorph hives. Xbox Wire has also confirmed that mecha action farming RPG Bounty Star is joining the Xbox Game Pass as Day One. Focus Entertainment has confirmed Metroidvania Mio Memories in Orbit hit Game Pass shelves yesterday. The Coalition also held a briefing for open beta schedules for Gears of War E-Day, across Xbox and PC. Hardware indices report many OLED handhelds with Hall effect joysticks hit record pre-orders just this week, while Trend Hunter Tech revealed reactive gaming chairs with built-in tactile haptics are hitting consumer pre-orders. Mechkeys listings show hot swappable retro cyberpunk mechanical keyboards topped tech sales just today, while tech hardware reports warn surging DRAM costs are driving up PC building hardware prices across all categories. Mashable Tech ranked Apple's colorful MacBook Neo as the number one consumer laptop on the market. Audio Wires crowned Sony's flagship WF-1000X M6 earbuds as the top noise-canceling audio upgrades of 2026, while Envin Global reports publisher NC confirmed a massive reveal for Project Bonfire at Gamescom ONL, just in time for ONL, I guess I should say. While the MMOs.com published news that the Unreal 5 MMO RPG Aeon 2 has announced the Founders Pack's early access opening on September 30th. Duketsu Penguin Club posted an announcement for a tiny wanderer featuring a tiny delivery mouse in a magical forest. And finally, Chucklefish has finally sent over a developer wire dropping new gameplay shots of Mossport Town in spellcasting live sim Witchbrook. That was the Geeking for Friday, August 14th, 2026. I've been Noah, and you've been geeked. But don't go anywhere, because we're jumping straight into our next segment. And I'm sure by now, if whoever's watching, you probably have noticed that I'm not alone today. So, we're going to be talking about the big news. So go ahead there, sir, and introduce yourself.
Salutations. I am known as White Knight. I'll be playing devil's advocate for this bit, and at least chipping in my 2 cents where at least I know it be true.
Right. So, I mean, we're going to talk about it because a little bit more. And if for the people that haven't been, living in the cave, still on AOL and dial-up and everything. So, Rockstar...
56
Yeah. Rockstar has finally announced a trailer 3. Except it wasn't a trailer. It was a trailer of a trailer. And yeah, this one has kind of kept me up a little bit the last week or two since that information came out this past Thursday. Not this past Thursday, the Thursday that just passed, but what, the 6th?
Would be the 6th, yes.
But on in just 2 weeks' time, on Thursday, August 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are getting Grand Theft Auto 6, an extended look, on Netflix for 6 hours.
After which it'll be posted up onto YouTube. So, again, why the Netflix subscription to pay for something 6 hours early?
Right. Not to mention, just this past week, they had their, Q1 earnings call report?
Indeed.
And Zelnick has gone on record to state that he has seen the numbers for pre-orders, and they have exceeded expectations, that they are spectacular. And I don't know. Did you get a chance to read the earnings call?
I sadly have not. Though I'm somewhat in the camp of that it's corporate fluff trying to get more of the confidence of the investors.
I have to kind of agree. Because to me, dropping the news about where this report is heading, where this new in-depth gameplay reveal is heading. That to me does not scream consumer confidence that they are making the numbers that they should be making. I'm not saying completely, oh well, maybe they do. But I am saying that it is kind of a little off-putting that, of all places, you could put it on Netflix, you could put it on Hulu, you could put it on Peacock, you could put it wherever. But I watched a video just the other day because I was in your same camp up until I watched this video the other day, and it's on Game Ranks. Basically, Falcon, he talks about how he views it as more of a... They see it as kind of like a premium, that they view Netflix as a premium, and Rockstar is viewing their game as a premium, and if you want the premium experience, you have to have the premium viewing experience in order to divulge yourself. I mean, what do you feel about that?
To be honest, I personally think that they've slowly, if not subjectively, like frog in a boiling pot of water, they've just been steadily increasing the temperature to cook the consumer, because it strikes me that they don't wish to have just the money that they make from this. They want all the money that they get, that they can get. They take what can be taken.
Right.
Now, I've watched a couple of these where, like, for instance, the fact that they say, oh, we'll just have a physical plastic box with the game code in it. But unfortunately, they've neglected to say that, say, for instance, across overseas in Japan, those codes are only valid for, I think they said, like 100 days after issue.
120, I believe.
Not date that you buy, date that it was issued.
Date that it goes live. So
Right.
literally from November 19th until until about February, sometime a week after Fable goes live, because we're keeping our eyes on that story too, as it kind of comes out and comes into fruition. But
Right.
so about a couple days after Fable goes live, those codes are extinct at that point.
Exactly. What happens if somebody picks one up 1 or 2 days after?
Yeah, what happens to
buy
them?
them, or issue them another code, or just say thanks for the $100 that somebody just dropped, and off you go. Which, to be honest, strikes me as highly anti-consumer, and also keeps me in the Davos mind of, you will live in the pods, you will eat the bugs, you will own nothing, and you will be happy.
Right.
In the corporate mantra of, consume you cash cows, and be excited for the next product. I'm sorry, but for me, if that's the way that, they're going to go, if they basically say that, you pay $100, but you don't own it, hey,
Yeah.
high seas are always welcome. And if that's the case, by that logic, it ain't a crime. It's just out there on public domain, and I'll take advantage of it.
Right. And for the viewers currently at home, you all are viewing basically our GTA 6 watch right here in the Discord. Feel free to join here after the stream. Just let me know. But anyways, so right now we got the information on the 6th. This was about 9 o'clock in the morning. So I said, well, better than nothing. The following day, I started seeing a bunch of stuff on Facebook starting to say the runtime and stuff. but they have yet. Netflix doesn't have that type of information. If they do, the NDA levels that are currently locked behind this game is insane, like Marvel levels insanity. So I called them to basically get more information. They were not that readily available to give out any information, but I was hopefully optimistic. At that point, you responded with a video from Quasar77.
Yes.
And from there, I went into a couple of tangents. I said that's been some of my thoughts too. Yesterday, as in August 6th, does not seem like a, well, you're ready to see more type of thing. It seems more like someone is annoyed with all the bitching and went, there, you effing happy now? Jesus Christ, let us figure out our dumpster fire. The earnings call isn't adding up as well with whatever numbers Zelnick is seeing. It's not there. And I've done the math. At best, they made about 1.2 million, not million, $1.2 billion in pre-order sales alone. So what is Netflix doing to kind of safeguarding that?
Well, how much did Netflix pay them?
100 mil. Me and another guy, we did some research.
They're going to figure that into their final sales projection, because to them that's advertising revenue. And as you well know, with most movies, basically take your budget of your movie times what? The normal rule of thumb is 3, if I'm not speaking from a fallacy.
Yeah.
And saying take that budget times 3, and that's what you're going to spend on ad revenue just to promote and project your movie.
Yeah, so they have to be, which again does not line up with any of the numbers we're seeing.
Right, especially with what they say it costs.
Yeah, and on the low end, I could see it costing $1.5 billion. We will not get that number until well after, until how much it was made to make this game, how much it cost to make this game, or any of that until about a week or two after it goes live. But even then, I'm not seeing those numbers. I'm seeing maybe 1.5 on the low, 2 bill on the high. And to me, it seems like a watch. No, you're good.
Oh, no, sorry for talking over you there, my friend. But, a day ago, Perfect and Rager basically drew the comparisons to how they're advertising GTA 6 as a lot like they advertised for Red Dead Redemption 2. But there was a lot more hype even behind it than there is, it seems, for GTA 6, making it seem like the hype is almost manufactured.
Yeah.
And then right now, I got probably, I want to say a fourth of the way through a video by Legacy Killer HD, basically saying that he has supposed numbers. Again, I take most anything with a grain of salt because,
yes, of course.
The internet. It's the internet, and if you find anything as gospel there, I mean, wow, I've got some great beachfront property in Arizona to sell you. Right.
And yeah, like I said, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like, the numbers aren't there, but kind of let's go back about 7 weeks, all right? So the pre-orders, they go live, right? And, I mean, we did an episode of a week after pre-orders go live, where we talked about the pre-orders going live, of course, and what that means, and what the costs of it are. I believe, the $80 version, you get GTA Plus online for a month, plus a cosmetic set for Jason and Lucia. For $100, you get
For $100, you get shops and some of the other amenities that essentially, this is another thing that I know that they've slowly been doing with most games, is that they will take all of the stuff that's been on the cutting room floor and or even just within the game itself, stick it behind a paywall just so that they can drag more money out of your consumer. And this, in by and large, is a huge anti-consumer movement that they've done, but that's pretty much since the days of horse armor, and hell, even going back still to the advent of when they said the loot boxes were going to
Yeah.
revolutionize
So
gaming. Instead, it's basically taken only greed, and yet very few countries have such protections in place to see to it that the consumer is protected.
right, which I
Our own
think
CPA basically, I don't think, has even remotely glanced at the video game industry.
which that raises another good question that I have for you there, White. Uh, how are you feeling about gaming? I know you kind of answered a little bit of it, but how are you feeling about gaming kind of moving away from how
Well,
we're used, how you and I are both used to it? I mean,
yeah.
hell, man, you're older than me. But
Okay.
you remember a little
So
bit more, but for
I
me, I remember games coming out as a full thing. So how do you feel about it? Sorry.
okay. Nope. Perfectly fine. This is kind of a little bit here. Give me just a second here to kind of dust off the old soapbox. And just kind of, prepare to pontificate into the void. I game because, number one, it's fun. Two, it's escapism, like any avid reader or any avid model collector or model builder. It requires a certain amount of both finesse and skill. Uh, Anyone that says it doesn't hasn't ever truly played past the Cuphead tutorial. You
Amen to
know who
that.
I'm talking about.
I know exactly who you're talking
So,
about. Hi,
the
Destructoid.
game's journalists, yes. So, uh, in this particular case, I've watched the games become more segmented, more fragmented. They've become a cudgel in which to beat people over the head for a message. Like I said, that's why one of my favorite, I'll plug them here. One of my favorite game companies, Saber,
Mm.
based AF. I mean, just until I see otherwise, they're based AF. They've actually got one game that I'm wish listing called Swords and Slippers.
Mm.
Uh, pretty decent, pretty decent bit to go take a look and wish list, especially if you like games of that magnitude and nature.
Right.
But enough of that. Getting back onto the original topic, the games have, like, say for instance, you took a Nintendo game, and I'll use Nintendo because, I mean, yes, I could even go back to as far as the advent of the Audiovox, Magnavox, uh, and oh, uh, it was third the third video game system. I can't remember. It was, they had the controllers with the bezels, and you had to actually, instead of a directional pad, it was actually just a circular disc. Uh, and it competed with Atari for a while until the ET video game crash.
Yeah.
But in any event, I digress. ADHD brain here. A geek brain.
No, you're good. You're good.
Welcome to nested trees. At least the ones in my psyche, anyway. The thing that was always there was, okay, I would pay 25, $30, and you get the entire game. But I had watched the games go from, like, say, for instance, Nintendo. Their original prices were, $30 to $40, which was still pretty pricey back then.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's
pretty pricey.
That's on par with what games are today in terms of pricing.
But then Super Nintendo came along. Super Nintendo and Sega and all of the Nintendo, and the Nintendo revisions, and then all of a sudden the games jumped up from 40 to 50.
Yep.
And again, that was, I mean, I remember buying Chrono Trigger for the Super NES, which was at the tail end of its life, and yet, no lie, it's a masterpiece. I mean, I gotta at least say there are probably people that will probably agree with me. A good portion of viewers will agree with me that the original Chrono Trigger, by far and away, is a masterpiece. That if they ever tried to remake it, the only thing that I would honestly accept is but a graphical facelift. Story, gameplay, mechanics, leave it the hell alone. Don't you dare touch it.
Right. And
because it would detract from it entirely. That's, to me, that's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I can't really ever fully give anything 10 because nothing in this life except death and taxes are perfect.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how we review scale things here at USG. We don't necessarily agree things are perfect, hence why we have our scale. We have our double middle finger, which, again, we talked about it in the Critics Quest, where it was... where Borderlands is kind of that, where it's not a great movie by no means, but it is. It would be a lot of fun to watch with people and kind of riff on it. It'd be a lot of fun to watch MST3K kind of watch it, seeing Crow, Tom and Crow,
Theater 3000 type of vibe with Borderlands. Especially if you can at least rifle back some of the NPC lines, or have somebody who's well versed in Macbeth Shakespeare,
or at least understand that Claptrap shouldn't be played by Jack Black.
Exactly.
But then we have our middle finger, which again we just gave her our review score for Ice Cream Man, and honestly, it's like I said in the review, it's not a bad movie by no means. It's more of an improvement of what Borderlands was, but it is just bloody as all get out. And I mean, if you're all for it, you're all for it. I'm not one to go like, oh, shame on you for liking it, but for me, right. I like gore, I really do, but even I have to admit that was too much gore.
Gotcha.
And it was an excessive amount.
It crossed the line. It crossed the line about, 5 rivers back.
And I remember back when I first watched the movie a couple days ago with my now fiance, her and I talked to her and I said something. I said that it was... If it was made in the 80s, that movie would have made a killing at the box office. It would have been the next RoboCop. But here we are today. We don't really have a lot of those. A thumbs up is kind of like, okay, it's good, but it's not great. We've given a few thumbs up to a few things. I think our last thumbs up was... I can go back into reviews and look. But it's not been a while. It's been a short amount of time. Pow World. Power was the last thing we gave a thumbs up to.
I,
It
I
was
gotta I gotta admit, I applaud Pocket Pair for not just their victories in the lawsuits against Nintendo. I applaud the fact that the games that they have in the pipeline, everything from More Than Pals uh, to Pal Farm to the card game to basically, I kind of wish they'd do an anime of it. Uh, it's interesting to see what happens when a competitor comes in on the scene with a new idea. And one of the other ones that I wanted to also check out because of it, let me see here if I can actually get to the name of it without butchering it, just because I want to call it. I want to call it. I want to call it Amiibo.
yeah.
And I think that's the one.
The Nintendo Toys to Life thing that's still going on.
No. That wasn't it. It was.
Which I'll applaud them for. The fact that Nintendo is still going on well after the Toys for Life craze, or the Toys to Life craze, is long since buried. Long since the pastor went, "Here lies so and so."
Exactly.
We know because its name is on the stone. Some handsome devil reference for anyone who's watching.
Okay, let's see here. Where is it? Oh, Animo. That's what it's called. That's what it's called, Animo. And that one I've seen both gameplay and screenshots of, and its premise is that yes, you catch monsters, but then you actually become them.
Nice to meet you.
Well, I don't know what.
So
I don't know what you think. It's a hell of a bunch to come into. I'll let us just
So it in and of itself is another, another divergence within the room. You can actually check out open world games to kind of see what it looks like. Like I said, it's an interesting premise, and like Pal World, it deserves a shot at the table. And so again, it's that healthy fostering of competition. For far too long, most of the games have all come down into either PC or console, and that's another kind of, again, I told you that story to basically tell you the next point, where I've seen games, devolve down into, okay, you've got your console, you've got your console games, you've got your PC games, and I've watched how it basically, like, they've tried exclusivity throughout most of them, and each time they've all wound up coming back to where they were made. And I sometimes don't quite understand why. If you wanted to be in the business of making money and reaching gamers, when you would release a product, you'd release it on every platform and program and Windows store that you got, that you had access to, for the most bang for your buck, as it were.
Right. And
But
now,
then they go.
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, and I mean that kind of rolls into kind of our last score, which is, again, not saying anything is perfect, but but we give things that we view as the best. Uh,
Right.
kind of, and I mean, for me, this year has not been a horrible year for media. We have rarely at all, just this year, given out double middle fingers or anything. But we have a standing ovation where it says basically, well, you stand up, you applaud it, it works out. So you understand that some people aren't going to like it, but for you, it's close to perfect. Which is where I think kind of Chrono Trigger lies for a lot of us, especially a lot of us older gamers who kind of look back at the SNES days, the NES days, the N64, so on and so forth. We look at it as kind of those good old days. But nowadays, I already have a really sneaking feeling, which leads into my next line of questioning, going back to the main topic at hand. So, kind of, Rockstar has had a very nasty history of they'll release a game, and not to say, okay, well, it goes back to Grand Theft Auto 3, and then Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, but typically there are very awful years that follow a Grand Theft Auto or a Red Dead Redemption release. Like that started happening with what? Grand Theft Auto 5, right? So how do you view?
I believe so.
How do you view this coming year?
Well, okay. So I'm in the camp of, while I personally, the way that this game has been hyped up, talked about for so long, it's kind of developed its own mythos. And of course, when it finally does pop out of the oven, you're not going to get the, earth-shattering, mythos-defying gameplay that people are wanting. For the most part, it's like saying, okay, we choose graphics over innovation, or hell, even look at just the degradation of Grand Theft Auto 5. The missions used to have an edge to them. They had a good, solid edge and parody to them that basically said, yes, this exists in civilization. Yes, mankind is responsible for this. And yes, we're going to make fun at it. But there was always that bit of you knew it was a parody. You look at GTA 5 now, and to me, I mean, I played through to get the LSD van, and I can honestly say, while the story had some good points that put a wry smile on my face here, overall, I found the entire thing to be kind of soft, politically correct, trying too hard to be funny, and at the end of it all,
kind of empty.
I say again.
To me, the story was very empty, and I know the exact point where that emptiness kind of lied. It seemed like they were building up this great big bad. What was his name? Martin Madrazo, wasn't it? That he was going to be the big bad of the story. No, it was this rich billionaire tech bro,
right,
who sunk his hooks into each one of the characters. But no, it was definitely after that first initial heist that the story really lost steam with me.
Right.
Especially, and I just replayed the story maybe about 4 or 5 months ago.
I've been playing online, popping my head up just to kind of see what all they've done with it and how they've done with it, and the GTA Plus, again, it's
I don't think
bought and then give it a month, pull the payment back, because it's like, okay, so you get a $500,000 and access to
the
some
entire
shirt skins and
the entire Rockstar library, I think.
No, the other thing that they gave you was one of the little controversies that they got pissed over was if you'd collected certain cars, they basically yanked those, dropped them behind GTA Plus, and it was kind of like saying, "Oh, you've got these. Well, no, now you don't have them anymore, and now, if you order the GTA Plus, we'll sell them back to you." And
Wow.
yeah, it's kind of like all of this stuff that we've been so far pontificating over, my friend. The main elephant in the room with it is that it's all self-inflicted.
Yeah.
That it's all self-inflicted.
And then inflicted back onto the industry.
And then inflicted, correct, back on consumers, because they generate the problem themselves.
Yeah.
And then they turn around and say, hey, let's also, this is our problem. We did it. But this is also how we're going to do it. But you know what? Hey, we'll sell you the cure for a little extra.
Yeah, no kidding. It's
like, come on, man. That's
and
I've seen straighter handshakes and got better deals from Kirby vacuum salesmen.
Exactly. No, and that kind of goes back to the thing with the pre-orders going live, with the whole, they're locking shops behind the $20 extra paywall, they're locking missions behind it.
Okay, one of the extra things that I've seen, and again, this either I personally would take this at a grain of salt, but it's like, come on, this cannot be real. No one would actually be that completely gullible. But where, like, scalpers are moving in to try and buy up the digital media, and it's kind of like, dumbass, it's digital. There's no shortage.
So here. I'm gonna start the live. Start the share screen. Hold on. Allow. Yeah. Bye. Oh wait. That's the OBS. Sorry. We're gonna change the stream to something else. Oh, dear Lord. Sorry to everyone viewing at home.
Perfectly fine.
No, I have something that probably should not be on there. Sorry. So sorry for that.
I thought we were gamers and nerds. I didn't think there were much in the way of prudes in the way here. So I mean,
fair. But anyways, so back when the pre-orders went live, there was a guy. His name was Arian Bundles, and yeah, this post right here. That was a screenshot I took on my phone to kind of verify if this information was correct. And
what does an aneurysm feel like?
Yeah, the whole, he spent $55,000 from his 401k type shit. And I kind of retaliated and so on and so forth. But yeah, no, I digress. I mean, this is live on YouTube right now, so.
Aye.
So yeah, there's your prudes. But no, to me, honestly, I think the scalpers don't really have a market to corner with them going digital, which is my only line of defense for.
Also, with the fact that the codes themselves die after a certain time, if you're sitting on a stock of them, you're sitting on nothing.
Right.
It's nothing to begin with.
Yeah, no, it
And
sucks, and it's very awful that they have done this, but at the same time, do we have to pay as a consumer for the scalpers?
to be honest, uh, the scalpers market exists because there's a supposed scarcity that the industry itself caused.
But if
I mean,
there,
it's a lot like Pokemon cards.
yeah, but if there is no scarcity, then
Scarcity, then where's the worth?
yeah,
Remember, it's all about supply and demand.
which is
And a
what I
scalper
said
basically
in
lives
one,
off of supply and demand.
which is what I said in one of the comments about it, and well, not verbatim what you said, but what I said was, what happened was a guy by the name of Opium Soul _ said it's all digital, it won't sell out, laughing my ass off. This is speculation, take a chance, was the response. My response to that response was, it's also speculation that those 500 copies that you bought is going to be worth less than a penny by Christmas. Digital codes exist because of people like you.
Alright.
Which, do you agree to that? Or no?
Anywhere that you will find, anywhere you have a chance at supply and demand, you're going to have opportunistic people on the moral gray scale. I mean, look at everything from like the PS5s, Nintendo Switches, Switch 2s, any of the later consoles that scalpers were able to get their hands on and basically inflate the price due to supply and demand. But if you notice sometimes, and again, this could be a fallacy and, break out the old tinfoil hat. Some of the scalpers, I think, exist on purpose from the company to generate up a revenue so that they can justify saying, we'll make more of these, but if you notice, okay, a station starts at $199, scalpers buy them up, turn around, sell them for a couple hundred more after the scarcity's there. But then when the company says, okay, we'll make more, you'll notice that $199 now goes to $299, but still stays under scalper price.
Right. And basically,
and it's kind of like,
yeah,
it allows for the auto inflation in and of itself to take over. I mean, essentially, it's like saying you can try to separate a shark and a moray from one another, but for heaven's sake, that little fish is always going to hang around the shark.
Right. But, so, and I swear, this is going to be the last thing we talk about when it comes to the scalpers. So, finally, again, we talked about this about a week after, but so, Arian Bundles also responded that following the evening that the pre-orders went live, everyone is laughing now, but you won't be laughing when every parent is messaging me for a copy of GTA 6. I responded with, oh, we're not laughing with you, we're laughing at you. Which I think that's kind of the general thing, is kind of like, oh yeah, we are. Because it's funny to me. It is funny to me. Even looking back at it, it's just 7 weeks later.
What are kids doing with getting their hands on this product anyway?
Yeah, I mean, they're taking their mom and dad's credit card and everything else like that. Okay, so I swear, last 2 questions, and then we're going to switch gears over to our other topic for Fandom Wars. Alright, so I'm going to try and group this all into one, so bear with me here. Okay.
Feel free.
So, first off, we the following 2 weeks after we reported on that, within the, 6 days, PlayStation had announced that they were rolling back the digital.
Yes.
And I mean, we have answered this question multiple times. Within about 2 weeks after our show on July 2nd, 2026, we did a July 16th special broadcast where we talked about how gaming as a whole is kind of falling into the wayside, where a lot of the companies are looking at us like consumers and everything else like that. They're basically shoving us what I call us relics out the door.
No, they're shoving the people who critically think out the door.
Yeah.
People who are willing to ask a basic question. People whom basically say, this doesn't seem right. What's going on?
Right.
They're shoving those people out the door because they don't want people to think.
And this goes back to, yeah.
It's the buy the slop, consume it, get excited for next product, even if the product is subpar, substandard, and above all else, ramshackly made, as a old friend of mine once said. And people will still, just because it's got a GTA name on it, without thinking, they'll drop their money down on it.
Right.
They'll say, that's like basically crawling through the desert, enduring the heat, surviving, and then the game company telling you that the sand you've been crawling through is actually water and you should drink the sand. And many people will drink the sand, but they'll drink the sand not because they're dumb or because they're mentally deficient. No, they'll drink the sand because they don't know the difference.
Right. And for me, I answered back with, we do the one thing that consumers are doing, which, okay, about a week or two later, I saw an IGN report that basically said that is what people are doing. So, first part of this two-part question, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be one of those people that walks out on the 23rd of this month?
Oh, for the Netflix thing on GTA 6?
No, I mean they're basically turning off the PlayStations and they're walking out.
Oh.
For about a week and then going back.
I'm a PCer. I'm not a console gamer.
Which that answered
I fall heavily, my friend, into I am of the PC master race.
And that's fine. Hey, you know what? We play our games however we play our games.
Cards. Exactly.
But no, so that answered the second part of my
German.
question.
I apologize to the Germans that I have offended.
No, you're good. You're good. But no, anyways. So, second part of the question was going to be, are you one of the people, just like me, that kind of got suckered into buying the $100 version?
Actually, I haven't bought it yet.
Oh, that's great.
I haven't bought it yet because I have always, if I buy something, and this is something that I do for my own, or anything that I do, like when I buy something on Steam, I don't buy it because of, even if somebody tells me word of mouth that it's good, I won't actually buy the game unless I see the negative comments and I read the negative comments. I'll read about 2 or 3 pages worth of the negative comments, and if I still think the game is worth it, I'll pick it up despite the negative comments. Not because I'm contrarian, but because I want to see the game's valid criticisms and whether or not, in comparison to not just picking it up to, support the company because it's, it's Saber or CD Projekt Red or whatever company have you.
Right, Tiny Hat, for Christ's sakes. I mean, we're going back to the visual hiccup that went over on the stream. Again, I apologize wholeheartedly for that. That was not planned.
I do too.
But no, either way, whatever company you play, whatever thing you decide, you keep your wallet and decide if you want to play it. If you don't want to play it, nobody's going to hold it against you.
Of course.
So,
now, mind you, if I did wish to play GTA 6, and I listened to I listened to the negative reviews after the embargo, if I really wanted to play it, just to spite Rockstar, I'd probably sail the high seas for it. And again, because, I would rather, which is kind of somewhat interesting, because I would rather do that, because then I can honestly say, okay, I've got it, I've played it, if I like it, okay, I'll pick up a legit copy. This really kind of is something that it harkens back to the old Napster days, if you remember that, where you just go out, you get songs off of an album. If you like the album, or enough of the songs that were on the album made the album worth it, turn around and buy the album. It's a healthy thing. And so for me, does it hurt people in the short term? Yes. Does it help them in the long term? You bet your ass it does. Because most people will, and I use the term loosely, most will take something, will pirate it, will then turn around and say, you know what, this is actually pretty good.
Right.
And they'll go back and buy a legitimate copy.
So, well, either way, yeah,
it helps.
Yeah,
but
either way, I do have to cut
as...
I do have to cut the remainder of the fandom wars for at least the GTA 6 Netflix thing short. I am sorry for interrupting.
Nope. Go ahead. This is your show, so go right on ahead.
So either way, you heard it here first. A multi-billion-dollar streaming giant has paid cold hard cash to hold an advertisement for a video game hostage behind a subscription paywall. You literally have to be an active Netflix subscriber if you want to see GTA Vice City footage at 3 p.m. on August 27th, or sit in the corner until 9 p.m. for the free YouTube upload. It's not just marketing. It's Rockstar locking the entire industry in the eye.
I would rather sit in the corner, and wait for the freebie. But,
yeah, basically. It's taking its lunch money and proving they run the world. But hey, you know what? That's not the only thing that's coming up in 2 weeks. So, right behind that, we got Jeff Keighley stepping onto stage in Cologne for the Gamescom opening night live. What are you looking forward to seeing this year at opening night live if you're going to watch it?
To be honest, not to sound like the old curmudgeon that I be, I can honestly say I haven't watched the Video Game Awards. I think the last thing I watched was, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke on a BlizzCon? Which point, when I saw these people just turn my hobby into a spectacle that, basically where there weren't gamers in the audience, they're corporate execs looking at dollar signs. It basically saying, hey, you can, go ahead, lay your nuts on a counter. I'll smash them with a toffee hammer, and maybe that'll be a little more entertaining.
Right. And yeah, I mean, for me, I've watched it every year for the last 4 or 5 years, maybe 6.
My condolences.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyways, for me, I am looking forward to seeing more information about Fable. That is a game we are slowly getting information about, but for whatever reason, I have no idea why. I know we're going to see it.
Now, there's
also.
a game that needs the Sonic treatment immediately.
What, Fable? Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what they're doing. I think it's Playground Games, the same team that's behind the Forza Horizon games. They're behind Fable, and they have entirely revamped the system. They have done away with the morality system. It's now
So let me get this. Let me get this straight. A company that deals in racing games, beautiful graphics, and flat mats is going to try their hand at doing an RPG with multiple mission paths, multiple routes, and flat mats.
basically, yeah.
I think they're only going to get the flat mats right.
Well, either way, they've done a deep dive demo, and it looks incredible. It's up on YouTube right now, up on the Xbox page, the
Again.
Fable page, the IGN page, everywhere.
Looks incredible. You just said it right there.
It looks incredible, but how it's going
How's
to play?
the story? How's the? You just said they yanked the consequence system.
Yeah.
So there goes.
Well, no, they didn't yank the consequence system. They yanked the morality. So basically, anything that is inherently good, or
whether you want to play as a badass or you want to play good, good, and have those endings affected.
But even
it's kind of like, who cares?
They've implemented a new system called I forget what it's called. It's reputation. So basically, if you give a beggar like 1,000 gold, you're viewed as a rich guy, but you're also viewed as kind, and so on and so forth, and they'll thank you for it, while other people will look down on you for it. And that, in turn, is a much more interesting mechanic to me than just like, oh, well, you killed all of Bowerstone, so shame on you, here's some devil horns.
Although I will admit, I believe it was Fable 2 where you had to play the bad guy in order to get the good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Fable 2 is one of my favorites of all time. But, yeah, no, they've done away with that. They've done away with a lot of things that gave the Fable identity its identity, but at the same time, they've implemented a new pseudo-identity to it, and for that, I'm all for it. Then again, I'm all for a new Fable game anyways. I think we're going to be seeing more of that Spyro game that was announced at SGF, which, my god... The fact that we did not get that one after Crash... the fact that we didn't get that one about, what, a year or two after Crash 4? That's surprising to me. But I think we're going to get a lot more about the Final Fantasy VII game going into that week that Fable Early Access is dropping. We're going to be getting a lot more information about that God of War Laufey, in my eyes. Which kind of goes back to my thing on Fable. You brought up earlier that it needs the Sonic treatment, and it needs it bad.
I think Dr. Disaster did a very good piece on that, and I actually I'm in the man's camp.
But I think
for that one.
Fable, to me, has never been a game series that really has strived against any of the bigger AAA titles, and especially with the early access. The early access drops on February 18th, with it going live 5 days later. 2 days prior to that, God of War Laufey premieres, and okay, so basically it's like, and I'm not saying, okay, well, God of War Laufey had the release date first. No.
So they're sidelining Kratos in his own game.
That basically.
that's almost as bad as sidelining Superman in his own show.
Right. But no, for me, I really really,
dovetails.
really wanted Fable to work out, and I think at the end of the day, one of those two is going to push back. If any game is probably going to push back, it's more than likely Fable. Because Fable is going to cower down to
Okay.
Ralphie.
And that dovetails actually into kind of one final point that I can honestly give that I've seen my hobby become woke.
Yeah.
I've seen it become, political. I've seen it become woke. I've seen it become just this mockery of what it once was, when the inept, the nepotistic, and anyone with enough money could then basically throw something together, throw it onto a site, and say, look, we're video gamers now, aren't we so hip? And you look at them and go, no, you're not. You're just grabbing at cash. That's all you're doing. And you're nowhere near the title gamer. You haven't picked apart a game. You haven't even given good quality assurance of said game.
Right. And yeah, no. Fable, it does still look rough, but we are about 6 months out from that one. But yeah, no, I do agree. A lot of gaming has become woke. A few years ago, I was hyped to hell and back for Saints Row, the reboot, and I was wildly disappointed in that one. I was wildly disappointed in a lot of games. The one thing I am hoping for with Fable, and it, again, seems is the operative word here. It seems like it's avoiding that trend, but at the same time, we got a half-hour gameplay in a town and it is not like, oh, it's this tiny little village. Yeah. No, it is small, but not
relatively,
not tiny. Like, oh well, there's the general store, there's the clothing store, there's the drugstore, whatever. No, it is a small town, but it is a massive part of the map, and I like it, but I'm cautiously optimistic about it. I just like I'm cautiously optimistic about Spyro. I'm cautiously optimistic about Clockwork, whatever it was, the one that's heading to Xbox now. Which, okay, whatever.
One quick little bit going back to the GTA. I do apologize. Although there is a relative alternative coming out called Anita, Ananta.
I heard about it, and I have that on my watch list too.
It's on my watch list too, and it's actually one I'm kind of stoked for.
Oh yeah.
Because if 6 doesn't work out, definitely throw my money that way.
And who knows? There's definitely probably a lot of things that we have seen. I mean, we haven't talked about Resident Evil Code Veronica getting that remake that got dropped at SGF, or whatever other games that Jeff Keighley decided, oh yeah, I'm going to talk about it. Thank you very much. Because to me, it doesn't seem like, oh, he's making a lot.
Is that, refresh my memory, and again, I may be speaking from a fallacy here, but is Keighley the one that kind of acts like a little bit of a hyped up rock star that seems to have overdosed on speed and basically hypes up most of the games that as he dances around stage?
Blonde guy in a suit, kind of casually dressed a little bit, but not really. Yeah, that's Keighley in a nutshell.
Okay, because I was also going to add the man trips my gaydar in the weirdest way, but okay.
But yeah, no, he's kind of not on good terms with me, at least in terms of I respect him for trying to, keep the Game Awards live, keep Summer of Gaming Alive, so on and so forth. But when it came to his interpersonal life, I kind of went, oh, okay. Not to say, oh, it's tragic, or not to say it isn't tragic. My condolences to his losses and everything else like that. I wholeheartedly think that his dad was a big, strong person in the industry if you knew who his dad was.
That probably leaves me somewhat scratching my head because, again,
he basically created the IMAX theater experience, the IMAX camera, which is how Keeley kind of got his start into the industry. He got his start in doing it on our spiritual predecessors. Basically, going back to, again, a rant that not a lot of people heard. But it does seem coincidental in hindsight, me dropping it.
Well,
basically,
I gotta admit that I learned something new. So thank you for the lesson.
Oh no worries. But no, he got a start on G4, which we heavily take a lot of our humor and everything from. We loved G4 way back in the day. We celebrate them even today. We think that they didn't have a great go at it the second time around when they came back a few years ago. And we wish that one day they get the proper chance to keep going and get going and stay going forever. But until then, we're kind of filling that void that they left behind to make sure that people still stay informed the way we would like to be stayed informed as gamers and as moviegoers, as entertainment guys, tech guys, so on and so forth. For me, I know less about the tech industry than I would love to, but no, for him, for Keeley, he got his start as an intern working on, I believe, on Attack of the Show or X-Play, one of the two. It was one of the two flagships, but he worked his way up. He worked his way up and kind of became a segment host. And then when G4 initially died, he started bankrolling for the Game Awards. When Spike died, he heavily enforced it, kept it going and going and going, and he's been... But he does have a tight niche of friends that are there. And not to say, oh, that's a bad thing.
No. A good friend is always hard to find.
But I know at the Game Awards this year, and I believe I think they did the announcement for what day that is. I think that's December 10th, if I'm not mistaken, or at least that week. I know that Joseph Ferris is going to show up and say some outlandish thing that the internet's going to blow up over. I know that he's going to have at least one of the Muppets there, that he's going to have a celebrity there that shouldn't be there. He had, I believe one year he had Robert De Niro. Last year he had Harrison Ford, if I'm not mistaken. But he's definitely in this whole entire thing where he's kind of his own thing. So whatever he has kind of coming our way, it's definitely a lot of indie space. Probably a buttload of Dark Souls games. But he also keeps it thematic, so I don't know. It could be a theming issue or something. It could be 100 different things, but we'll know more in about 2 weeks. Less than, I believe. I believe Game Award or Gamescom 2026 is the 25th. Opening night live is the 25th. But either way, we'll get world premieres, shadow drops, and gameplay reveals. The countdown is officially on, and the hype train has no brakes. Hey, thank you so much for coming on today for today's Fandom Wars. Where can people find you?
Oh, for me?
Yeah.
I typically don't really hold much in the way of socials. You may cross paths with me in VRC under my namesake, White Knight. But other than that, I really don't have a lot of a social media presence, though I've had a few friends tell me that I probably should try reading books that most people haven't heard before. And
So you can find.
talking-
Sorry to interrupt, but you can find him on carrier pigeon. Or Indian smoke.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just I'm looking
Sorry,
in the right
racism
direction.
aside. Sorry to the Indians out there. Or the Native Americans. Peace to you. But either
Indeed.
way, yeah. But now, so that is your cue to get into the comments section there, loyal viewer, if you stayed through the entire time. Are you going to pay for that Netflix thing? Just to watch GTA 6 hours early? Or are you waiting for the YouTube thing? Drop your
I'll wait
hot
for
takes
the
in the comments.
YouTube.
Oh, go right ahead. Oh, yeah, White's going to wait for it in the YouTube section. So,
Yeah,
also...
and I'll wait probably for another more charismatic commentator to basically point it out so that I can at least look in and go, he's right, or no, he's wrong.
Basically.
So I at least am not judging it with fresh eyes for myself and thinking, oh, this is great.
Also, let me know in the comments if I survived, well, everything. Also, once again, an apology for the visual mix-up. I am sorry, I know we're not touching on that a whole lot, and I'm trying not to. I apologize. We will do better next time. But for right now, I have been Noah. Stay geeky, everyone.